Welcome back to Trivia Masters. Today, we're settling the ultimate debate. Which decade ruled, the 80s or the 90s? If you weren't around back then, buckle up. The 80s were neon-soaked, packed with arcade games and big hair, while the 90s gave us grunge, the internet, and slap bracelets. We've got 10 head-to-head questions, and of course, a bonus challenge for the ultimate nostalgia champion. At the end, you will decide which decade wins, and you can let us know in the comments. Let's rock and roll! First up, music. Both decades gave us legendary artists, but who sold the most albums worldwide? A. Michael Jackson in the 80s. B. Mariah Carey in the 90s. The answer is A. Michael Jackson in the 80s. Thriller, 1982, remains the best-selling album of all time, with over 70 million copies sold. Mariah ruled the 90s, but MJ was unstoppable. Which animated TV show started in the 80s, but became a cultural phenomenon in the 90s? A. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. B. Pokémon. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The show debuted in 1987 and was a massive hit leading into the early 90s, with cartoons, toys, and movies. Which decade made the phrase, as if, super popular? The 80s or the 90s? The 90s. This sarcastic comeback was made famous by Alicia Silverstone in Clueless and became a signature phrase of the decade.
As if?
Which sitcom had a bigger season finale audience? A. Cheers, 1980s. B. Friends, 1990s. Cheers is the correct answer. The season finale of Cheers in 1993 had 84.4 million viewers, while Friends started strong but never reached that peak. Which toy craze caused absolute chaos in stores during the holiday season? A. Cabbage Patch Kids in the 80s. B. Tickle Me Elmo in the 90s. That's right, Tickle Me Elmo. In 1996, desperate parents fought in stores to get their hands on this laughing plush toy. The 80s had wild fads too, but Elmo was next level. Which decade introduced the McDonald's Happy Meal? 80s or 90s? The 80s. McDonald's launched the Happy Meal in 1979, but it exploded in the early 80s with movie tie-ins and collectible toys. Which decade gave us this legendary movie quote?
I'll be back.
The 80s. Arnold Schwarzenegger first said this in The Terminator, and it became one of the most quoted lines in film history.
I'll be back.
Which decade brought the World Wide Web to the public? 80s or 90s? The 90s. While the internet was invented earlier, the first websites launched in 1991, revolutionizing how we communicate. Which decade had the best action movies? A. The 80s with Die Hard, Predator, and Rambo. Or B. The 90s with The Matrix, Speed, and Independence Day. Well, that's up to you. Both decades were packed with explosive action, but which one takes the crown? Drop your answer in the comments. Which gaming console sold more units worldwide? A. Nintendo Entertainment System in the 80s. B. PlayStation 1 in the 90s. The answer you are looking for is B. PlayStation 1. Released in 1994, it sold over 102 million units, making it the best-selling console in the 90s. All right, Trivia Masters, it's time for the final challenge. This one is tougher. You'll need to match these iconic objects to the right decade. Were they from the 80s or the 90s? Let's see if you really know your retro pop culture. And that's the challenge. Think you got them all right? Type your answers in the comments and let us know how you did. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more awesome trivia. See you in the next challenge on Trivia Masters.